appears that the Daily Wire's Ben Shapiro was not being sincere when he took Candace Owens's challenge to a debate on Israel and the so-called current definition of anti-Semitism. We know this thanks to new reporting by Glenn Greenwald that indicates that after very publicly agreeing to the terms of a debate, Ben Shapiro and Daily Wire slapped Candace Owens with a gag order. I'm not kidding. Here are the details. So negotiations for this debate played out very publicly, as I mentioned earlier, on X. So it all started on April 5th and were sparked by comments by Andrew Schultz, who had this to say about Ben Shapiro.
Yeah. Say what you want about Candace.
Yeah.
She's not afraid of nobody. She will say whatever the she wants to say. She will debate any single person. She'll go out there and do it, right? Ben Shapiro is debating college kids.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest, right? It's like anytime he debates somebody who's like worthy, he either gets washed or bare minimum stalemate. I've never seen him actually win a debate against somebody who's like educated in the matter.
Now, Candace Owens quote tweeted that very clip with the tweet, "I would like to debate Ben Shapiro on Israel and the current definition of anti-Semitism. Can somebody make that happen?" Now, of course, Candace Owens was fired from the Daily Wire after she put out segments that were critical of Israel and its handling of the war in Gaza. And so her asking for a debate was what kind of triggered this back and forth with both Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring, who's the CEO of the Daily Wire. So let's go to Shapiro's response next. He sees it. He responds to it and says, "Sure, Candace, I texted you on February 29th offering this very thing. Let's do it on my show this Monday at 5 p.m. at our studios in Nashville, 90 minutes live streamed." Well, at that point, Owens understandably did not accept those terms. She wanted a neutral platform. She proposed Patrick Bet-David's show and podcast. PBD said that he would be willing to host this debate, but Shapiro refused because PBD had referenced the Daily Wire as the Daily Jewish Wire. He did not take kindly to that. Owens also proposed other platforms, including Tim Pool's show, Charlie Kirk, and Lex Friedman, all of whom said that they would love to host the debate. I'm sure they would. But at that point, Shapiro had stopped responding to Owens, and the Daily Wire's CEO, Jeremy Boring, engaged in the negotiation very publicly again. The two finally reached an agreement. I'm not going to read every tweet that went back and forth, but they finally agreed to the following conditions, as laid out by Jeremy Boring's post. You don't want it on the Daily Wire channel? Fine, we can live stream it to your channels. You don't want to shoot it at Daily Wire Studios? Fine, we'll rent a studio in Nashville. You don't want a Daily Wire crew? Fine, we'll hire a local crew. You don't want Daily Wire to pay for it? Fine, you're rich, you can pay for it yourself. You don't want to do it on, you don't want to do it Monday? Fine, let us know how long you need to prepare. We will not agree to a moderator, no third party to put their finger on the scale. We will not agree to a virtual event or edited video live in person, one-on-one. Those were the terms. Candace Owens accepted those terms, but it doesn't look like the debate is going to happen because Glenn Greenwald's reporting indicates that the Daily Wire has slapped Candace Owens with a gag order because they believe that her initial quote tweet that included that video violated her non-disparagement agreement that she had signed with the Daily Wire. And so Greenwald reports when seeking a gag order to be imposed on Owens, the Daily Wire accused her of violating the non-disparagement clause of her agreement with the company. To substantiate this accusation, the company specifically cited Owens's initial tweet requesting a debate with Shapiro as proof of this disparagement. Now, quick caveat before I go to you, Jake. Glenn Greenwald's reporting didn't cite any specific sources. So I'm gonna hold out on saying that his reporting is completely true. But if it is proven to be true, this is not a good look for the Daily Wire because it appears that they pretended like they were open to a debate when in reality they were not. And behind the scenes decided to try to silence Candace Owens further.
So I got a lot on the gag order and the non-disparagement clause. But first, I have a perfect solution. Why don't I moderate right here on TYT? Because I don't agree with either one of them, so I'm neutral. I think that what Candace Owens said is arguably anti-Semitic. On the other hand, I think Ben Shapiro calls everything anti-Semitic. Like as long as you criticize Israel at all, Ben Shapiro is going to call it anti-Semitic. On the other hand, Candace Owens, I think, crossed the line. So that would be a really interesting conversation. I could challenge both of them, right? And see what their answers are. Since I'm not a fan of either one, I'll moderate totally honestly. I would moderate totally honestly no matter what, but I know they wouldn't trust that, except for the fact that I really am neutral between the two of them, right? And they know that. And so, look, I'm not saying to do it here. I'm just saying, is there a way to actually do this debate if you wanted to debate? Of course there is, right? You could do it here. You could do it with 1,000 other people that she mentioned. You could do it with Joe Rogan. I know Joe Rogan has criticized Israel once, so he's an anti-Semite, I'm sure, right? But like that's very convenient for Ben Shapiro to eliminate everyone based on, oh, they once said something that I think is anti-Semitic because they criticized Israel or whatever. By the way, that charge against Patrick Bet-David, Candace Owens, I don't know what context he said it in, but Candace Owens.
I watched that segment.
Yeah.
He did say those words. I felt that his overall commentary about the matter was fine. I just did not like that he used that phrase. I wish he hadn't, because that is not a good phrase to use.
I agree, but on the other hand, as you know, you were on there debating some of the people on this issue on Patrick Bet-David's show. He seems pro-Israel.
Yeah, they're not anti-Israel. Like, let's just be clear about that. Okay,
Yeah,
so like that implication is ridiculous to me, right?
So all of this, whether it's Patrick Bet-David or any rando or us, you could find a moderator, okay? That's not what's holding this up. So again, Anna's right, I don't know the Glenn's sources, I don't know who they are, so I don't know if they're right or wrong. But did they have a non-disparagement clause? Well, everyone is acting like they did, including Candace Owens.
That's right. So Owens wants to comment on this. Let's go to the 8th graphic here. When asked for comment to be included in this story, Owens replied, "I wish I could comment on this, but I can't." She added, "Can neither confirm nor deny." So in regard to her own conduct, it appears that she has been gagged. And going back to some more of Greenwald's reporting here, he writes that the company, meaning the Daily Wire, also cited various criticisms of the Daily Wire and Shapiro on X that Owens had liked. So she's liking tweets that are disparaging toward the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro. The arbitrator agreed with the Daily Wire that Owens's call to debate Shapiro and her follow-up negotiations of the debate constituted disparagement of the company and Shapiro. The company argued that any further attempt by Owens to debate, as well as her suggesting that the debate would expose the Daily Wire's real priorities, constituted criticisms of the site and of Shapiro, criticisms that the arbitrator concluded Owens was barred from expressing under the contract with the company. I gotta say, man, these contracts are awful, right? Like the non-disparagement stuff and all of that. And oftentimes workplaces will pressure an outgoing employee to sign them if they want to get a severance. So oftentimes they will sign it because they want the severance.
Yeah, it's definitely more complicated than that, because there's bad faith actors, and the only way they'll stop lying is if they sign a contract like this.
Yeah.
So it depends massively. But it doesn't depend if you're the one saying free speech absolutism.
Yeah.
It doesn't depend if you're the one who has been whining and crying about cancel culture for the last decade, and now you turn around and all of a sudden you're like, oh no, not freedom of speech for you, and not freedom of speech for any of my opponents. And I'll cancel the hell out of you. I'll fire you. I'll make sure you can't talk about this issue. I'll do all of that, but I'm for free speech. Wink.
Yeah, I even underestimated how much of a negative impact all of this was gonna have on Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire, because they really did build their brand on protecting free speech. And once that mask was ripped off from the Daily Wire, a huge portion of their audience, they're outraged by this, right? They're outraged because they're like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. It turns out you guys weren't being genuine or sincere about wanting to protect freedom of expression and freedom to debate one another about contentious issues. Now look, I agree with you, Cenk. I think that there are many examples of Candace Owens going way too far. And it's not about her criticism of Israel. I think her critique and criticism of Israel was actually some of her better commentary. The issues I've had with Candace Owens is the fact that she literally defended Kanye West after he went on Alex Jones's show and said, "I love Hitler."
It's not close, guys. Look, so she said that a small group of sinister Jews run Hollywood and DC.
Yeah, I mean,
first of all, that's textbook anti-Semitism, okay? So, but if you wanted to make excuses, well, they got lobbyists. Yeah, but so does everybody else, blah, blah, blah. You can get into that muck, right? But then the last thing she did made you realize you don't have to get into that muck. That was as anti-Semitic as it sounded, because she then liked a tweet saying that some rabbis are drinking the blood of Christians.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it literally doesn't get any more anti-Semitic than that.
So if I were in Ben Shapiro's shoes, I would have done exactly what I did when people were urging me to debate Vaush, right? People were writing in constantly, like, debate Vaush, debate Vaush. No, I'm not gonna debate Vaush, okay? Vaush isn't entitled to me debating him, and I think he's a creep. And then a few months later, it turned out that he got caught accidentally leaking, pedophilic cartoon content on his computer. And I totally doubled down on my decision not to debate that creep, right? So like, make your decision and stand by it. Don't pretend like you're gonna debate Candace Owens and then behind the scenes, put a gag order on her.
Yeah, it wasn't leaked. He accidentally revealed it when he showed his screen.
Yeah.
Which I don't know when people are gonna realize that you shouldn't show your screen. Alex Jones, Vaush, all these guys who get caught with stuff on their screen.
Or maybe don't have that content, period.
Right. Or maybe they want to get caught. Maybe it's, I don't, but that's their business. I got nothing to do with it. You guys look into it, make your own judgment. We just shared our opinions, that's all. Okay, last thing. The worst part of this is, okay, you got your standard hypocrisy on free speech, but for them to be pretending that they actually wanted a debate.
Yeah, it's bad.
While secretly going to an arbitrator and saying, make her shut up about the debate. We're never gonna have that debate. And make her stop, make her stop. And then, by the way, if she does stop, who knows if this story didn't get leaked, maybe they come back around and go, you see that, she backed down.
Meanwhile, good point.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're wondering why the hell would Candace Owens, free speech warrior, sign this non-disparagement clause that has her in chains? They paid her a lot of money. So, and Candace, you took the money. This is your bed. You don't tell us about how verklempt you are over gag orders and cancel culture and all that when you took the money to limit your speech. So you see, I am actually fair to both sides. Daily Wire's right on the law. They're cheesy as hell for what they're saying in public, and apparently lying through their teeth. And neither side gives a goddamn about free speech. They mainly care about the money, Lebowski, of course. That's why Candace signed it. That's why Daily Wire is going behind people's back. Because if they said to their own audience, oh yeah, we're trying to gag the hell out of her. We went to court to make sure that bitch shuts up.
No, the audience
would not like it. They would lose money. So that's what all of this is about on both sides, while they're pretending to have principles. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.